What is up? Welcome into your Hump Day Buckeye Blitz for Wednesday, September 21st, 2022. I am your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast, bringing it to you daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever you want to call it. How's everybody's hump day starting off? Just think about that glass of a couple ice cubes at the end of the day. Pour something over it, sip it, feel it wash over you. All your cares go away. Making myself thirsty. All right, let's get into it. Today's topic, I want to talk Buckeye defense. I know we just did this yesterday. Yesterday was more focused on the Toledo game and how the defense performed. This is how we have performed over our first three games thus far. I know it's a small sample size, so somewhat maybe not enough to go on, but in my opinion, you can look at some of these players, how many snaps they're getting. In the secondary, you can see who's being targeted by the other team, things like that. Missed tackles, big issue there. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the secondary. I want to talk about Denzel Burke. Okay, he's taken some by Buckeye Nation. Not a lot of defenders of Denzel Burke's play thus far. We've seen oh God, how do you not tackle that guy after he catches the ball in front of you and let him waltz into the end zone against Toledo? Anyways, let's look at numbers. I like numbers. Big fat numbers. Targets. Denzel Burke is the target. He has the most targets right now in the secondary. Obviously, outside corners are always going to be the most targeted. I get that. So we'll preface it with that. But 15 to 12 targets of Cameron Brown. So Denzel, 15. He's allowed 8 receptions. Okay, that's just over 50%. Not bad for a DB. Cam Brown allowed 7 receptions out of 12. That's worse. So we need better play out of these corners. These guys are out there on the island. We know it. Everybody's talked about it. Jim Knowles says 99.99% of people can't do it. And that's fine, but we have dudes in that locker room. What's up with Jordan Hancock? Is he still injured? J.K. Johnson. Okay, he's come in. He's played quite a few snaps. I got it right here. He has played corner for 45 snaps out of 3 games. Okay, so it's about 15 a game. He only played in 2 games, actually. He didn't play in Notre Dame game. So keep that in mind. So in 2 games, he played 45 snaps total. Now, his target is 2. He's allowed 1 reception for 13 yards. Okay, not bad. But I'm not sure he's the long-term answer if you're going to think about benching Denzel Burke. I'm not sure J.K. Johnson is the answer. If Jordan Hancock were healthy, I would consider him for sure. So looking at Denzel's stats here, he has allowed the 1 touchdown, only 1 missed tackle. But if you don't even try, how do you can't be charged with a missed tackle, right? So the penalties are a big one. So he's only had 4 forced incompletions. That's not great. His PFF ranking is 62.9%, his coverage percentage. That's terrible. So Denzel really has to step his game up. You know who else? Cam Brown, like I said, he's allowed 58% of his targets to be completed, 112 yards. And again, just 1 pass breakup. He's allowed a touchdown. So these things got to get shored up. Cam Martinez is a bright spot in my opinion. He's been targeted 8 times, only 3 receptions for 24 yards, so minimal. Hasn't allowed a touchdown. I like the way he's playing. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Tanner McAllister's healthy. He didn't play last week, so in the first 2 games, he allowed 1 catch out of 4 targets. Okay, that's good, 25%, and that was only for 6 yards. So I'm fine with that. No issues there. Other guys in the secondary, Ronnie Hickman is doing fine. He's got a 76% coverage grade. Cam Martinez is a 78. So, and Lathan Ransom is a 73. Lathan, though, is allowed 4 catches on 4 attempts, but just 18 yards total, and only 4 yak yards after the catch. So those guys are looking good. Josh Proctor, 4 targets, 4 catches for 60 yards. We know the big one against Notre Dame. That was like 50 yards there. So I'm fine with that. But again, in coverage, we got to get better play by our outside corners, both Cam and Denzel. Let's look at defense. Let's look at the pass rush. We know that we just got the first 2 sacks by an edge rusher this past week. So leading the way in total pressures, that includes hits, hurries. That is JT Tuimoloau with 9. He has 3 hits, 6 hurries. So he's that Zach Harrison, just a 100th of a second away from getting a sack or at least another hit. So 3 hits, 6 hurries. Michael Hall Jr., we know this guy's about that life. Didn't play last week, still has 6 total pressures, 2 sacks, 1 hit, and 3 hurries. Jack Sawyer's getting in there too, 6 pressures, 2 hits, and 4 hurries. Tommy Eichenberg, we know when we blitz the linebacker, he's coming up. He's gotten 2 sacks, 2 hits, 2 hurries. JJB with his 2 sacks, he has a total of 6 pressures. Zach Harrison, 4 total pressures, 1 sack. So a lot of guys are chipping in a couple pressures here and there, like Ty Hamilton, Ty Leak, Steel Chambers, and Caden Curry. So pressure is there. We just need to get home. Again, I mean, we talk about this with Zach Harrison all the time. He seems like he's right there. So gotta complete that. Let's look at tackling. Missed tackles are a big pet peeve of mine. When you miss tackles, that really can extend drives, and it's like a huge kick in the sack, especially if it goes for a big play, like we saw Josh Proctor on that first play against Notre Dame. Missed the tackle on Styles, fucker goes 50 yards. So tackle grades here, I have leading the team with somebody that's played, let's say, more than 30 snaps. J.K. Johnson is a 77% on his tackling percentage. Cam Martinez is a 77%. Tommy Eichenberg, 76. Cody Simon, 76. Tyleek is a 74. That's good coming from a D tackle. Getting tackles up there behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage is key. So missed tackles, though, Ronnie Hickman, 4 missed tackles. Steel Chambers, 3. JTT, 2. Lathan Ransom, 2. Cam Brown, 2. Then we've got about a dozen guys with 1. So this is one of those things, like, as a team, we cannot afford to have – we have a total of 29 missed tackles as a team over 3 games. You can't have double digits. That's 10 a game. You cannot survive as a defense and be dominant. And if the game is put on the defense's shoulders in the 4th quarter, you cannot miss freaking tackles. It should be obvious, but those things – those are what lead to big plays, at any time of the game. Leading the team in tackles is Lathan, then Tommy, and then Cam Martinez. Cam, really, he's a baller, man. I'm really impressed with him in both his coverage and his tackling. He's getting in there, battling in the run game. So I'm happy about that. Steele has 9, Cody 8, Ronnie 7. So tackling has to improve. I hope they're tackling in practice during the week. It seems like you have to. Jim Knowles has said you have to make it a habit, and it's a mindset. So they have to practice it. So that's my breakdown of where the defense needs to improve. Kind of some low lights, I guess you could call it. But let's see how things go when we start this Big Ten play coming up with Wisconsin this week. I think we'll be fine, but gotta tackle, gotta get QB pressures, and we gotta cover better on the outside. So that's all I got for you today. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Go Bucks.